Lori Michelle Moshiach with an Ask the Moshiach question that should have an easy answer. What does God think of cigarette smoking? Of course he doesn't approve of cigarette smoking. Thumbs down, double thumbs down. It's repugnant and repulsive to Hashem, God, the King of the universe. But I'm asking this question because as I walk around Israel, there are lots of very religious people smoking cigarettes. It's shocking, really. And recently, I saw a kosher symbol on a pack of cigarettes. Incredible. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought I was seeing something that wasn't there. And then I went online and saw that they were issuing kosher certification for Pesach, for Passover, so that people could smoke cigarettes and feel exonerated somehow that their cigarettes were kosher for the holiday. Insane? Absolutely insane. Hashem says that cigarette smoking is a hideous sin. And when I walk around Israel, I see very religious men, mostly men, some women, with black kippahs, which connotes they're very serious about their halacha and their religious beliefs, and they're smoking cigarettes. Tzitzit, black kippah, the whole bit. So I wonder, why are they smoking? And I did a little research recently, and I saw that many rabbis won't prohibit smoking. A lot of them speak against it, but there's no prohibition against smoking. And it's incredible. So this Ask the Mashiach is dedicated to any person who truly believes in Hashem, King of the universe, and desires to quit smoking, which is a hideous sin in the eyes of God. God, Hashem, is real, and he's watching your every move. And if you're smoking, you are sinning right in his face. So I'm going to share a little story about Moshiach, because once upon a time, Lori Michelle was severely addicted to cigarette smoking when I was in my 20s. And I hated it, but I was addicted to it. And I tried to quit day after day. I would throw the cigarettes out only to either dig them out of the garbage incredibly or go buy a new pack, which was a much more expensive way to deal with the cigarettes. So what I did was I went cold turkey. In my humble opinion, the only way that you can quit this awful habit of cigarette smoking. And you must, whoever you are, if you smoke anything, you are smoking in God's face. And cigarettes is a hideous addiction that must be stopped. But if you're switching to e-cigarettes or hookah, a new cool fad that a lot of people go to hookah bars and smoke hookah, it's tobacco in a bong, as far as I can see. It's against his laws of guarding your health also. So don't smoke anything if you're serious about pleasing our Creator. I quit cold turkey, and the way I did it was I went to a health retreat in Lenox, Massachusetts, where they did not allow cigarette smoking. And I did a raw juice fast for a week and cleansed all the nicotine out of my system. And then I made a vow to myself that I would never, ever put a cigarette in my mouth again. And if you know anything about Torah, taking a vow is very serious. But I did it. I had to quit. I wanted to quit. I desired to quit. And this was well before, 2 decades before my spiritual awakening. I hated this hideous habit that was taking over my life. But it was a process. And the process was first the physical addiction. It took about a week or two, and the physical addiction left. And then my lungs started spitting out awful, black, disgusting crud is the best description for it. It's disgusting. It comes right out of your lungs. And what that should really do is not make you want to smoke another cigarette. It should make you realize you're doing exactly the right thing for your health. So that process lasted a couple of months where my lungs were expelling all of the hideous tobacco and nicotine that I was accumulating in my lungs. And then the next process of quitting smoking is psychological. So I gave up all of the triggers, the psychological triggers that felt good with a cigarette. Coffee after my dinner, coffee and a cigarette. I gave it up. I love coffee, and if you've been watching online recently, I drink coffee every morning, but coffee's a trigger. So for a few months, while I was working on the psychological addiction to cigarettes, I gave up coffee too. And then I prayed. This was before my spiritual awakening, when I did not get an audible answer from God, but I always prayed, and I prayed for his help. And then the other thing that I did, which I highly recommend when you're giving anything up, any bad habit, chocolate, anything that's bad for you that you want to give up, Coke, maybe you're addicted to Coca-Cola, replace it with something good. If you're giving up something that's bad for you, replace it with something that's good for you. And what I decided to do was to start running. And I began running every day. And running, I learned many years later, is something that's very special. It's very good for your body. It builds endorphins. It cuts stress. It makes you happy. Hashem, when I was awakened, called running the Lord's dance. That's how good running is for you, by the way. So if you can run and you're physically able, I suggest you get a pair of running shoes and start running or walking, something physical, something good for your body. So if you're a smoker, you're in deep trouble with our Creator. And if you're wearing a black kippah, which connotes that you believe in Hashem, and you're davening every day to Hashem, you are smoking in his face. And that's a curse. That's a curse. You're cursing yourself in the front of God. So take me seriously. You're praying every day if you're a religious Jew. And if you're smoking, it's complete blasphemy. And for rabbis to certify cigarettes as something kosher is repugnant and evil. You've got to wake up, people. You don't need to be Moshiach to know that what I just said is the holy truth. But I am Moshiach, and if you want to know more about where we're going wrong and where you need to step it up and where Hashem is very upset with everyone, you need to get online right now and buy this book. I spell it out for you, where our problems are coming from and how to solve them. If you've got an evil habit, I give you recommendations all the time about how to cure those evil habits and how to lick them and get rid of them, because this is the time. It's the end of days, the end of the road, and he's not tolerating any of this anymore. There will be no cigarette smoking in the world to come. If you want to be welcomed, you better get to it right now. Put those cigarettes down and put on running shoes or walking shoes and get healthy, both spirit and body, right now. He's watching you. I hope you know that. Start acting like that right now. God bless you. If Mashiach can quit smoking, you can quit smoking too. And I did. God bless you. Peace on earth in our time. God bless you.